Hi Stan, nice to meet you. My name's Valentine from Miniweb. Just going to show you how our connected TV service platform works. It's a cloud-based service platform that acts as an integration point for content owners. Any content owner integrating with the cloud-based service platform automatically gets on many of the manufacturers we're working with. It's very easy for content owners to be part of the platform. They just feed us metadata that drives the video usage directly. We go directly to the video. We've got a number of demonstrations here today. Here we're on a Sigma-based Flash box, and what Miniweb is doing is powering the main UI for content discovery, personalization, and content usage on the Popcorn Hour box. This is a beta version of the UI. And Miniweb is powering the global search, which is a function across all the content owners. Also, for the individuals, we're powering recommendations, saved searches, favorites, their profiles of the different people in the home, which are all held out in the cloud. Their details, so when you register a profile, you register things like your mobile phone number or your email address, and that means that you can use that profile on other devices. We also allow payments to be done through the profile. So the profile registers a payment instrument, like a credit card, or a billing relationship, and that allows you to gain access to content. So on this device, my profile, Ian, has access to some content that I might not have on other devices because it goes with my profile. So that's the main UI for that device. But of course, we're also looking after the content owners. Now the content owner here is a linear TV content owner, BBC2, where you can find, for example, recommended content from that channel, but online. So we're linking the online content to the linear within the scope of the channel. And in HBB TV, for example, HBB TV has the ability to put a URL into the DVB transmit stream specifically for every content provider and every show. So this would link to the CMS, and we allow the content owner to then interact with the viewer specifically for that channel. If I was to change channel, for example, so if I just actually change to E4, you'll find that the content owner menu is different, it's changed, because we're on a different channel, right? But the system menu is the same, right? Now, what I'm going to do is, while we're watching with the main user experience on the Popcorn box, I'm just going to switch remote controls and move to the Samsung remote control. So the TV itself is connected, so the set-top box is connected and has our system as the main interface. On the Samsung TV, if we press the Internet at TV button for Samsung, what you find is that what Samsung have done is they have some top-level apps, but they found that they can't get content onto their platform quick enough. The door to test all these apps and get them in is too small. They've got to test them, develop them, so they've opened another door. The other door is called Wimmy. And all the guys at the back of the queue, they're saying, hey, come through this one, right? So Wimmy is actually Miniweb's environment on Samsung. And it's, of course, it's a consumer brand. Because we're aggregating a bunch of mid and long tail content providers into Wimmy on Samsung. Now this is the Wimmy environment, so this time the system for the hardware manufacturer is replaced by the brand Wimmy. And you can explore content and you can work away inside the Wimmy application. We also look after the content owner. Here, this content owner has a menu, and we can always switch between the system and the content owner. So, if I was to find a search here that I've done before, or a profile that I've done before, the profiles that I have on this box, I can reuse on this box. So if I was to switch to my profile here, the favorites, the entitlements, the qualifications I've done on here would work on these other boxes. This is really important because manufacturers like yourselves or other manufacturers have devices of different technologies. They maybe have an MPEG-5 box in the market in the UK for preset preview, and a connected TV with a completely different technology and an HBB TV. So you need a service platform that works across all the different types of technologies. I'm not going to change profile. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my profile, which is called Gem on this one. I'm going to look at my favorites. And so here is stuff that I bookmarked before. So I've bookmarked, for example, this episode 11 of Poirot. I've said I've seen that before. I've bookmarked Lily Allen. This is stuff that I've seen before. What the system's doing is looking through all the metadata and finding related content to that metadata. Here, if I go down to Capricorn 1, this is a film, right? If I want to play that film, I can select it, I can get back to the film. Maybe I bookmark the film in this box, and now I'm playing it on this one here. the content, that's the film playing off the internet. This isn't a spoof, that's really coming off the internet. Now we're dealing with the content provider Box Office 365. Of course, all the trick play works, so I can sort of pause it, and that's paused. I can play again, I can put the volume up. So it's a complete, nice environment to watch this content. Now, the interesting thing is I'm watching Capricorn 1. This isn't a good example, but what the system's going to do here is find what it thinks is related content to Capricorn 1. And down the bottom here, it will find actually a lot of Capricorn astrology stuff. So that's why I probably don't want to do that. Let's go into something that I've done before. Recommended, switch profile, Jen. Let's go back into here and go to my previous searches. Here is a better example. I find a better example here from my previous searches. I think I searched for Redemption here, which is like the Shawshank Redemption. Right. So I found a film, the Shawshank Redemption. If I was to play that film, of course that's going to come from the film provider here, which is Box Office 365 as well. That's the film playing again. If we were to go and look at the content relating to the Shawshank Redemption, this would be a better example than Capricorn 1. Then remember on a DVD you find related content that is put on the DVD? Here we're finding related content from different publishers. Here is the Shawshank Redemption 10th anniversary interview with Morgan Freeman. Here's with Tim Robbins, who I think is the director. So I could watch the film and then I could dip into other Shawshank Redemption content from different providers. What Miniweb's doing is finding the related content across different publishers. Yeah? Now, of course, Google are showing textual search as a killer app. So, of course, you need textual search. If I was to do a textual search and search for, I don't know, something like Ferrari, now, I don't think, how do you spell Ferrari, by the way? Okay, yeah, it's found it automatically up here. But I'm just going to show you here, Ferrari. If I search for Ferrari, then this is going to find content from other providers. I'm going to play the first one because the default is you feel lucky, right? You play the first one. And what we've actually done here is created a virtual channel of Ferrari content. Now I'm watching this, it's a bit low quality. I could dip forward and see what would be coming up on this virtual channel. Maybe I find a Top Gear Ferrari story. I like Top Gear, so I'm going to actually jump forward in time on this virtual channel and actually watch this Top Gear clip. Now, it's very interesting here because I'm a Top Gear fan. Now, guess what it's done? Down the bottom here, it's found Top Gear in Geneva. It's found Jeremy Clarkson in Holland. It's found Killing Toyota Part 2, it's a Top Gear episode. Here is a very famous Top Gear quote called Top Gear Space Shuttle Launch, right? This is where they actually took a Reliant rocket and strapped it to some rockets and try and blast it into space. Did you ever see that?
I haven't.
Right. So here, this is the one that's coming from Blinks. Now, if I'm a space fan, this is really interesting because perhaps it's going to find me, it depends on the relevance filters, whether or not I find other, here we are, a space shuttle launch from a plane, okay? So now I can jump to that and I can watch a clip about a real shuttle launch being taken from an airplane flying past Cape Canaveral, right? And this is, there you can see the shuttle launching. Now if I look at the related content, I find there's a space shuttle launch from a plane. I might find other related shuttle content. So what's happening here is we created the Ferrari channel, then we segued off onto the Top Gear channel, then we segued off into the Space Shuttle Launch channel, right? All the time, for every item in the list that we're finding, we always make another related list. And we allow the user to travel these journeys through the content, following their interests all the way through. Now let's show you how you can sell content through this thing. If I go to my favourites here, I'm a Jerry Anderson fan, right? And if I go down here, I found there's Thunderbirds and there's Captain Scarlet, right? Now Captain Scarlet is being provided free by a content provider called Box Office 365 Kids. If I play it, I'm now going to watch this Captain Scarlet episode. I'll just turn up the volume a bit here. Play it straight off the internet. Now this is free content, and it's Captain Scarlet, one of my favourites. But Jerry Anderson made a lot of shows. Thunderbirds was one of his best ones, right? Now I'm here, they're able to promote me Thunderbirds, right? They're also able to promote me some other paid-for content. But if I look at their other paid-for content, this is now just coming from Box Office 365 Kids. They've got a whole range of content at $1.99 for a day's rental. So we can look at what was actually in that rental scheme. So you can see this is streaming straight off the internet. I think the bandwidth here is pretty hot, So we're finding it'll take a while to get back the results. We'll have to look at this. So here we find we have indeed got Thunderbirds content as part of this package that I can take out. If I press select here to watch that Thunderbirds content, then the price that the content provider wants to charge is reflected through our UI. So we're not setting the pricing model, we're acting as an agent to the content provider that sets the pricing. Here he's saying I can, for $1.99, I can watch all I want for 24 hours, right? Or I can watch all I want for $6.99 for a month, or $7.99 for 1 month, or $6.99 if it automatically repeats. Yeah. Now I'm not going to watch that because I don't want to go through the billing process, right? But what I'll actually do is I'm going to exit WIMI and I'm going to go back to TV because I want to show you exactly the same content. If I go back to my pop box, right? On my pop box, I'm on a different profile that's already got a subscription to this content. If I go to my favorites here and look at my favorites, what I'll find is that in my favorites I have the content here. If I can go down. Oh, I thought I had it. I filled up my favorites. Yeah, I filled up my favorites with. If I want to find the Thunderbirds content, I could find it. Let me try. I could. Anyway, trust me. If I wanted to view the Thunderbirds content, I could view it without paying on this box because my profile has that subscription associated. Yeah. So there we go. It's able to get content onto many devices, and as a device manufacturer, you're able to gain access to a full connected TV service with a complete integrated amount of content already. And it goes beyond apps. So instead of going through this expensive and slow mechanism to build apps, you can get content on directly by syndicating the metadata and configuring the play experience and the payments. And this expands the amount of content that's available through your device. So let's just go back to TV, which we can do just by changing channel.